You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Podcast Network. Find all of our shows at wearelibertarians.com. You're listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Learn more at wearelibertarians.com.
Welcome to the Boss Hog of Liberty podcast. This is episode number 128 of East Central Indiana's favorite podcast. No offense to anybody else in East Central Indiana that happens to have a podcast. I'm Jeremiah Morrell, and I'm joined today by co-host Dakota Davis and visiting returning co-host Danny Morrell.
Today's episode features Matt Worton of the Highly Inappropriate podcast. He warned us before the show to put a swear jar out on the table that's going to be marked to our favorite charity. Our favorite charity this evening is Elect Chris Guffey. So we're going to be talking to Matt about his podcasting career and everything that he's done over there. Also, he's called DJ Matty Dubs on the Facebook, and then we're going to get into price gouging. Is it a good thing? And also, Indiana just legalized sports gambling. Maybe we'll place some bets.
Whammo.
This show is about our lives in rural Indiana. We're here to push your boundaries and make you think as individuals. Sometimes we will provoke you. Other times we'll make you laugh. Hopefully, you'll always learn something new. Today, you may have your face turn red because something could go terribly, terribly wrong. Danny, are you getting a phone call? Do you need to step out? You got to sell some cutting tools or toilet paper or something?
No, Dad's calling me.
Oh, boy. Put him on speaker.
You want me to?
Yeah, let's see what he's up to. Let's see what Dad's doing. You might have... Do you know how to use a phone?
Evidently
It's gone terribly wrong.
I don't know.
Andrew Bowman is in the chat already, and he wants to know about Mason Rottinghouse. Andrew, you're a Patreon member. Go check. I gave you a Mason update in there. So, Patreon. That's where you get the extra bonus content, Dakota.
That's right.
Calling our father.
I just heard a phone ringing off. Yeah, the patreon.com/Boss Hog of Liberty. That's where you find all of our bonus content. You can sign up for as little as $5 a month, but you could also go much higher than that. And if you are more than $50 a month, then we personally thank you on the show so that the whole world knows just how great of a person you are. Those three folks are Christy Avery, Craig DaCosta from all the way in Hawaii, and Jonathan Phillips. Thank you so much to those people. We also have T-chip stores that are still going. Those campaigns are still going with 3 different designs. It's BHOL 1, 2, and 3 if you want to check those merchandise stores out.
Now that we're finally back into fall bonfire type weather, I may have to go out and get myself a hoodie.
Maybe.
I feel like that's what I need, is a long sleeve.
A pullover or zip up?
Man, what do you prefer?
You know,
turtleneck.
No, I always liked the pullovers, but now I really like the zip ups a lot more.
Are you new at this?
No,
He is. It's been a long time since
Normally,
Danny's
when you
been on
do
the show.
radio, you're just tweeting Dan Dockich. So you actually having a mic in front of you is different.
And he treats me better than this.
Well, he hasn't seen you try to put a mic in your face.
I'm just not used to this stuff close to my mouth.
You had a thought.
No,
Hoodies.
No, I like the zip ups more now than the pullover.
Well, we only
They're more
have
functional.
pullovers on our site. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm not going to buy one.
Well, you can't have any of the fake proceeds.
We talked last week briefly about me having to wear fire retardant clothing at work, and they now make fire retardant screen print. And I was looking at new sweatshirts for this fall, and I think that our idea of having producing our logo on fire retardant shirts is going to pan out well for us because they are $182 a piece.
Well, once again, for the bonfires, if you're pissed drunk and you fall in the fire, and you're wearing our screen print,
right. You're not going to
fire
get burned
retardant,
up.
you're going to be just fine.
As long as it doesn't say local celebrity on the back.
It doesn't.
What was wrong with that? Well, you didn't like that T-shirt?
No, the shirt looked cool. The front looked awesome. I got one, planned on wearing it to play basketball in, and I cut the sleeves off because I didn't want it to interrupt with my wet jumper
with your physique.
So I cut the sleeves off.
Guns too.
I flipped the thing over. It says local celebrity. Like, I am not good enough at basketball to have a shirt that says local celebrity on the back.
I think it's a great thing.
That was an accident. Only the premium shirts were supposed to have that on the back, and the $10 shirts were supposed to just have the logo on the front.
That's what I needed.
And everybody got the
local.
Everybody got the nice local
shirts.
celebrity. Oh well. So Matt Worton, you're here.
What up? How you doing?
We can book you for bar mitzvahs and
Anything, yeah.
just anything.
Is anybody here Jewish?
Not anymore.
I am.
No.
Are you serious?
He's got the blood.
Not anymore?
We did a test at one point. It turns out he's
And you know,
he's
part
got
Jew?
the roots.
Every time
Congratulations, man.
Every time I go back to Ancestry.com, the number is higher.
So
The
you obviously
percentage-
have.
I'm up to like 23% now.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
So you have a grandparent that did not pass money along to you. I mean, because all Jews are rich, correct?
Yeah. If that's true, I'm missing my cut somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so one of your, you have an ancestor that did not
Yeah,
like your side of the family. So
I think that's probably
maybe blame
what
your parents
happened.
and be like,
Yeah. Or maybe one day I'll get a mysterious check in the mail.
A week
be
ago,
nice. I'm still waiting on my Equifax check.
a week ago, I would have been uncomfortable with this conversation, but I just listened to Dave Chappelle's Netflix special, and now I know it's okay to talk.
It could have been that pill I put in your drink.
about these controversial things.
Well, it's just comedy is comedy, and he said it to me. I'm 23% Jewish, so I can make the jokes, right?
Right, yeah.
how it
I mean,
works.
you're
23 years old.
so you're technically a
23%
minority
Jewish.
now.
Yeah. What?
You're technically a minority now, correct?
I would classify it.
Yeah,
that
I
way,
mean,
yeah.
I would definitely start throwing that around.
You should
Use that
start
to
a
your advantage.
disadvantaged business.
Yeah.
I'm raising a black kid.
Is he? Is he though?
Well, he's not all white.
So we're much more.
We're very diverse.
We're a very diverse group, more so than what it would appear just if you looked at us just on the screen.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that, and everybody that watches looks like three white gentlemen, or now four white gentlemen sitting around a table.
We're just solving the world's problems.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Welcome to every podcast that's ever existed.
Yeah. All right. So Matt, you come from our friends on the Magic Squirrel Network, right?
Well,
Is that true, or was there a
we're
breakup?
friends of the Magic Squirrel Network. We
Oh.
are not part of it. We are our own
Independent.
Yeah, definitely.
We are on the
Independent
We
media.
Are Libertarians Network. Over
Nice,
here.
Chris
So we-
Spangle.
Oh, man.
Yep.
I thought
he's our,
that-
he's our syndicator.
I'm a free agent.
You're a free agent. We are definitely free agents too. I think our end goal. We want to. I heard a rumor. It's not necessarily a rumor. It's official. Howard Stern is retiring in 2 years. So, I mean, we're looking for jobs, people. Just letting you know, we're trying to be the next Howard Stern. I mean, myself, I grew up on people like Howard Stern. I have the unfortunate. I feel fortunate, but unfortunate too, the fact that I am 12 years younger than my closest sibling. All my cousins are older than me. I was the baby, so I was taught very bad things by the age of 4. So it kind of just progressed from there, and now
You had no chance. It
I'm
was
the
just-
raunchy piece of crap now.
It just
And-
immediately happened.
That's how you wind up hosting a show called Highly Inappropriate.
Yeah, I literally had somebody the other day, says no joke, come up to me and was dead serious, wanted a nice philosophical answer. She's like, she goes, "What's your podcast about?" And I looked at her with a straight face and I said, "Butt stuff and trannies." And that's and honestly, we it's funny you say that because we have a tranny update every week, and it's always something related to trannies. Something.
This is like
It's
Chrysler
something,
can't keep a good one in the car, and at
Do you
80,000
know-
miles, you got to replace it.
Do you know many trainees?
Funny story. So I actually told this story on our show. So I worked with a guy who had kind of given me I'm not going to go full detail what he did. So basically, he was a prisoner of war overseas. Got captured during the Chechnya and Russian, all that BS. But when was that? In the early 90s? When was the...
During Clinton's battles?
Yeah.
probably
Okay, so-
96.
So, Chris is over there. He was a photographer for some news outlet. He was living in Russia at the time, got captured. And since he got captured, this is his story, he did not feel like a man anymore. And started dressing like a woman. And he was telling me this, and I thought he was joking. So
That'll trick him.
yeah, I was like, yeah, okay. I said, that's great, man. Just please don't show up to work like that. So Halloween rolls around. And lo and behold, I show up to work. This dude's dressed like a woman. I'm like, cool, whatever. I was like, great costume, man. Funny. Well, after that, he started doing it every day. And I was like, I was like, cool. But one day I sat him down. I was like, you got to understand, man. I said, whatever you want to do in your free time, completely, I support it, whatever. I said, but you got to understand from my point of view, when it's me and you that work here, and we're at an Army surplus store. I'm managing an Army surplus store. A customer rolls in here that's likely an Army or a Marine vet, and I walk out of the office with a man dressed as a woman. I said, kind of look at it through my eyes.
But he's the vet.
No, he was never technically in the Army, but yeah.
He's a photographer.
Yeah. I mean, and it's funny because me and him are friends to this day. Completely dude's off the wall. I mean, just crazy, funny. I mean,
Does
just
he play
hilarious.
pronoun games with you?
Do what?
Does he play pronoun games with you?
If you did not know that he likes to, dress as a woman, you would think he was just one of the bros, cool as can be. But yeah, likes to dress as a woman. Whatever. Do your thing. I was like, man, but when you're at work, you should probably second guess that.
Have you ever seen the show Portlandia?
Nah.
Okay, never mind.
No, why?
Well, share with the rest of the audience. This is Fred Armisen's program.
Yeah, Fred Armisen. There's a recurring sketch in that show where he and his co-star of the show are the lesbian owners of a feminist bookstore.
Nice.
Fred Armisen plays a lesbian.
Yeah, and he's dressed as a 60-year-old flower power type feminist hippie woman, and it's one of the funniest. So
it's like Jenny from Forrest Gump.
Birkenstocks.
Yeah. Nice.
So that's who I picture in my head whenever you're telling the story.
Way off. This is literally would wear a dress and heels, took hormones to sound like a woman, would be in the office doing his makeup and stuff.
Very committed.
Very committed.
Oh, okay.
He went all in.
How'd he look in those pumps?
It was the ugliest woman I've ever met in my life. Yep.
My father-in-law has walked in
That's
the
not a
studio,
very
and
nice thing to
he's
say
still
to her.
fighting Comcast, trying to get it installed at his new house. So he's hanging out. He's going to watch the NFL game.
There we go.
We don't have that fight. We have Metro Net around here.
my house? It's closer.
So,
Hey,
I guess
Guffey, at some point, I want you to pay attention to me.
Pay attention.
I want you to randomly call Chase while he's at the game, because our boy Chase, who finally came back, is he's here. I want you to ring him up as he just comes roll.
He is a skilled veteran.
He is the one Army veteran in the building, and he just rolled across the floor. So that
Hey, I'll take another one of those if you don't mind.
all right. So I just assumed that you were part of the Magic Scroll Network, but that's just because Justin Kelly from Juice in the Morning is constantly promoting your podcast. So
We're just buddies.
I thought, they're part of the network, but I mean, Justin's just super cool about promoting everybody.
No,
So-
he's absolutely is awesome. I mean, anytime we've done a live show somewhere, he's came out and supported it, and we've tried to do the same for him, go out and support what he does. And honestly, I think independent media is the future. I think all the CNNs of the world, the Foxes, are all going to go by the wayside eventually, and this type of media is going to be the number one.
We are in many ways the fastest local media that exists in our community.
Yeah.
We're a podcast that gets listened to by folks all over the country and across the world, but at the same time we also super serve the Henry County audience. And for some reason, what's that?
I said worldwide.
But for some reason, people actually care about what's happening in our small community. And the best I can figure is that the same junk we talk about that's happening, right down the street here is the same crap that's happening on an island in Hawaii or in Morristown.
It's
The
funny.
same silly stuff.
It's funny you say that because I actually one day got real vitamined up and decided to kind of delve into our statistics a little bit. And we have a lot of listeners in Germany. And I one day I posed the question to my co-host Chris. I was like, "Why do you think that is?" And he's like, "Probably because all of our racist jokes." I said, "Yeah, that probably could be it." But yeah, we have more listeners in Germany than I do in my hometown. I'm like, "Thanks for the support, guys."
Well,
That's
there's
hilarious.
only 400 people in Morristown.
It's 400
Indiana.
people in Morristown. The good news is when we did have our live show there for Derby Days, I think the whole town came out to support, gave out a bunch of free stuff. That was fun. Sold some T-shirts, had a great time. Got
awesome.
hammered.
Did you bowl much there? At the
Bowl-
bowling?
oh, yeah,
geez,
every Friday.
Those lanes were fucked up.
Oh yeah, oh
You get
yeah.
a splinter throwing a ball 20 yards in front of you.
I miss the pizza shop in Morristown.
Well, it's still there. They just moved it.
Well, it's not.
But it's not.
It's not the
They
same,
changed
yeah.
it to what? Sisters?
Well, it's the Sisters Ice Cream. It was two restaurants. They combined them into one. I kind of said that from the beginning. They owned these two restaurants that, for the most part, serve different food but kind of catered to the same audience. I'm like, why don't they just combine the restaurants?
I had a party one time at my parents' house, and they were gone. And I had pizza delivered twice. And both times the delivery guy hung out for like an hour and drank with us.
From there?
From the pizza shop.
Did you ever get Rico's?
Yeah, see, I never liked Rico's. My dad loved it.
Rico's had these stuffed breadsticks, and to me, that's the creme de la creme of Morristown food that ever was.
Rico's always had like a ridiculous amount of toppings with very little cheese.
Yep.
That was the way, that was the Rico's model.
That was kind of,
And then they had like veggies or whatever that were barely chopped up. It was like, you'd get green peppers and it'd be like a damn green pepper that was in like 4 pieces on top
literally
of pizza.
whole green
It's
pepper.
like, it's like somebody that was like, I'm not going to cut anymore. I'm just going to put the damn thing on the pizza and send it.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
because
that's
we
enough.
would, Dad be like, oh, let's get pizza. And we'd be like, okay, we'll get Pizza Shop. He's like, no, we'll go to Rico's. It's closer. It's 2 minutes difference.
Yeah, literally
Dad.
2 minutes difference. What's crazy, Morristown has 2 gas stations and 2 pizza places and barely 800 people living in town. It's pretty funny. It's funny, too, traveling outside of Morristown, because I just mentioned the Copper Kettle, and everybody suddenly knows where Morristown's at on the map.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well,
Landmark.
and, yeah, Mom and Dad still get Copper Kettle all the time, but I've only been in there twice in my life. But we'll get
me too,
Terry
and
out there
I
all
live
the
there.
time.
I ate there once inside, and I went, well, this is a different vibe.
Yeah, I walk in there, everybody looks at me like I'm the town drunk, and they're right. No.
Otis. Welcome back, Otis.
Yep.
Yeah, so are you familiar with the Copper Kettle, Dakota?
No idea.
Their waitresses dress as peasants, but they
It's
should
like-
not dress like
You know, I have not been in the Copper Kettle much, but I've been in a lot of Copper Kettle girls. And those outfits are cute, by the way. I love
18.
them.
They're like 1880s hoop dresses.
Interesting.
It's quite the show.
It's great.
The Copper Kettle.
Family style. You show up and it's just they'll bring a pile of fried chicken
It's-
and green beans and
You've
corn
been
or
in my
whatever.
house. It's essentially me starting a restaurant in every room of my house.
Just
and
2 or 3
serving
tables in every
to you
room.
like that. It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
family style. But it's been that way for 100 years or whatever. It goes
Yeah, I
back
mean,
to
it's-
like the 18 somethings.
Yeah, I want to say like a president's been in there before. And I don't know the complete history. This is embarrassing because I live a block
Nobody's
away.
going to know. We can lie.
Yeah, Abe Lincoln ate there 3 or 4 times. He loved it.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds great. Yeah, Ron Jeremy did a scene in there once too. It was great. I remember that.
The second floor. Yeah.
Well, it's actually
That
Mike,
was the copper hammer, wasn't it?
yeah, the Copper Hammer.
I'm so sorry
Yeah.
to all of our listeners. It's not 8 o'clock yet to the live folks, but man, they are clicking away and watching.
Joke.
Actually, it was called the Cocker Kettle. That's what it was. I love that. It was a gay porn though. You know, I only made it through the first half, but it's whatever.
You just kept waiting on it to get interesting.
You're gonna get the real bums on watching this.
I don't think the
live feed
girls are
today.
coming.
No, the girls never came.
Moving from that to your business, DJ Matty Dubs.
Yeah, so I wear a lot of hats. A funny thing, I just talked about this on the show last week. You said you took a listen.
I did.
I was always the music guy growing up. Starting when I used to give my computer aids with Kazaa and LimeWire.
Yeah, you
and all that
lived
fun
the
stuff.
risky life.
Yeah, very risky life. Yeah, I used to download porn too at the age of 11, but that's neither here nor there. It's free country.
On a
but-
dial-up connection, you poor bastard.
Yeah, it took like 3 days to get to 5-minute video Briolsa, but it was so worth it once it came. Yeah, it was so worth it once the download
Go back
was
through,
over.
look at the JPEGs and watch the thumbnails.
And I used to charge girls at the school to make mix CDs. It was always girls that asked me
Being
to make
a
them
Yellow
mix CDs.
Jacket.
Being a Yellow Jacket. And I charge them.
They had a real good volleyball team then too.
Yeah, back then, yes, they did. I used to love going to the games. I never knew the volleyball was being played. I just seen a bunch of girls in spandex, and I was in, as a 12-year-old boy. But yeah, we did win the volleyball state championship. Embarrassingly to say, that's what Morristown was known for a while. I'm like, oh, the volleyball team. I'm like, hey, don't say that out loud.
The girls volleyball.
Yeah, the girls volleyball team. Yeah, we're known for the female sports. It's
We're
whatever.
the D class champions. It was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
class 4, 4A, 5A. No, yeah, right. It's 1A, the 1A school. But so growing up, I was always the music guy. I would make CDs for girls, and come to think about it, I would charge them $5 for a CD, and I put in a lot of work. I mean, back then, songs would take three hours to download. So, and I would download 18. I look at all the effort I had to put in to make these CDs, and I only charge $5 for it. I'd do anything to make money nowadays. I was like a crackhead in the Walmart parking lot making for
And now you're still using those same rip CDs that you stole off LimeWire and playing them for
playing for white
for
women.
kids. Yeah.
Yeah, for white women across the nation. It's so funny. I've probably done over the last 10 years.
Do they have to be white?
Most of them are.
It's Shelby County, so it's
Shelby. I mean, Grant, I've done. I think honestly, out of the 250 some weddings I've done one black couple, and it was a blast. It was no.
Have you kept track of how those couples have done? Have you gone back? And
I only know of two couples that I've stayed friends with most of them because, honestly, for me, I go above and beyond. Not only
you played all my music.
Yeah, I played Willow Walker. That's all that mattered. But
he's like, "Oh, are you sure?" Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I was a little nervous. At first, it's so funny because every
drunk
wedding,
brother will come stumbling up.
Because honestly, my friends ask me being the man whore that I am, my friends ask me all the time, "Do you use weddings to get ass?" And I'm like, "No." Oh, there's $1.
Danny's up to like $4 now.
I'm like, no, I don't, because I try to remain professional. Now, what happens after the wedding happens after the wedding. But at the wedding, I do try to remain professional. And my biggest thing is I truly am grateful that these couples choose me to. They're trusting me with the complete entirety of fun at their wedding.
You make sure everything runs on time and everything happens right. And
as the guy that's been married,
who may be in the market for another DJ
and divorced.
Yeah,
the DJ has a lot of control during the reception. He can dick it up bad.
Oh yeah, I've been to wedding. I mean, I was in a wedding last October, and it was so funny because I was asking my buddy who he got to DJ, and he's like, "Oh, these guys are awesome. Like, people love them down here." It was down in Columbus. I was like, "Okay," so I was expecting big things, and of course, me being a DJ, I automatically judge.
You're critiquing it.
Critiquing 100%. Everything. And honestly, I consider myself a very good one. I've heard I'm the best. I've been rated by Thumbtack as the best DJ in Indy twice, and to the point where I don't even have to use them anymore. I do no advertising at all. It's completely word of mouth.
Hammer and Nigel, one of them is a DJ, right?
Yeah, Hammer actually, he's partly responsible for getting me into weddings. So the story goes, I kind of cut myself off there. But so I bought $100 speakers. It was in 2008. I noticed because I was DJing for the Colts Disciples. That's another thing I do is a group I'm a part of. Huge Colts fan. I would DJ for the Colts Disciples because they didn't have a DJ. They didn't have music. It was a blast. Everybody would get drunk, eat food. I'm like, we need some music down here to really set it off. So I went and bought a $100 pair of speaker and got my surround sound receiver and just took my laptop computer to a surround sound receiver and went and from that I got hired to do a few weddings. And after I lost my job at the casino in 2013, Hammer gave me a few weddings that he had been scheduled for. I started doing weddings, and it just took off. And I was smart. I invested a lot of my money early in new equipment to the point where I've got, I went from having a $300 setup to now it's a $5,000 setup. So, so I was smart. I invested a lot of money back in my equipment. I mean, I put a lot of it on credit cards and stuff, and I was an idiot, but I finally paid all that off. And it's completely worth it now. I was getting called an idiot by my baby mama and my mother because I was probably $5,000 to $7,000 in credit card debt just on equipment alone back in the day. But I paid for itself in one summer. So
I get to see him do the Molinaro wedding here in a couple of months.
Yeah,
that'll be get to see his work. I'll be very judgy. I'll take notes for you and send it back.
Who's doing it?
Hammer.
Oh, he is. Yeah, Hammer's great. Yeah. So Hammer taught me, I was, taught by two people in particular. It was Hammer and my buddy Nathan Gregory, who DJs at Downtown Indy. So Hammer's more of my style of DJ, more the wedding. He's more of an entertainer than a DJ because, I love the art because turntables, you can actually play turntables. They're like an instrument. You can learn turntables like an instrument and just be a complete master at it. Honestly, I would consider myself very intermediate on turntables. I know how to mix music, but I'm not sitting here making mixtapes. I'm not, because honestly, that's not where the money's at. I can literally make 4 times at a wedding what I would make for twice the time at a club. It's just in a wedding's where the money's at, and for there, it's more of an entertainment aspect. When I go to a wedding, they don't care about mixing the music; they want to be entertained. So I come and I entertain. I get on the mic. That's another thing too, being radio experience. Hammer actually introduced me to radio too. It was completely on accident. I had no idea I was going to be a part of the show. He said, "Come out and check out my podcast." It was the Hammer and Nigel Show. I showed up. I got drunk off my ass. There's $2, by the way. And Philip B. Wilson from the Star was when he was still part of the Star, was on the show, and they were talking Colts. Hammer, knowing I was a huge Colts fan, invited me up on stage. I started sounding off about how I thought Tom Brady was a closet homosexual, and from then I became drunk mad at the Hammer and Nigel Show. And here I got my own podcast. So Hammer, if you're listening, you're probably live right now, but Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
You know?
over at MS, man, if you got a radio show, they make you work about 17 hours a day now.
Oh yeah,
Tony Katz and Hammer and Nigel, they got to fill like 5 hours each.
yeah.
And then our boy Rob Kendall's got to do cleanup whenever one of them's sick.
Yeah, and I mean, to their credit, they do a fair bit of prep for their show. I want to say they actually do put in a full day. Surprisingly, because knowing them back at doing the podcast, they both kind of half-assed it, and still, was one of the most popular podcasts in Indy. So, but yeah, I'm incredibly grateful for them for getting me involved in radio, and for Hammer, introduced me to DJing weddings. So, and that's one thing that tries to set me apart is the fact that I am extremely grateful, and I let the couple know, I'm like, hey, I really appreciate you being here. I always post a picture of the couple dancing, and thanking them. That's kind of and I send that picture to them. I'm like, hey, thank you guys so much for having me out. So, being that I am good at my job and I'm incredibly grateful, I feel very blessed, and it has been a blessing.
Very cool. Well, we had a great time. Our sister got married in June,
fine.
and you did it. And at one point, I had a microphone in my hand doing karaoke that nobody asked for. So it was really fun. It was a good time.
Hey,
very late at night.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
So, and you talk about the podcast thing and how hard those guys didn't work when they were starting theirs.
Yeah, not to say they didn't work hard, but they just, I would say, compared to what they do now.
Oh yeah,
yeah, night and day.
Yeah, but it's for Dakota and I, it's kind of an equal yoke situation where we have show notes every week. Dakota works his butt off figuring those out off of a group chat where it's a bunch of guys bullshitting and figuring out what's going to happen. And
people don't understand how much effort it takes to put a show together, like do the show notes. That's kind of what we do. I mean, throughout the week, I'll see a story and I literally notes on my phone. I've got a full list here. I mean, it's from the Indie LBGTQ Music Fest to I've got transracial man feels up Filipino. I mean, I just get random notes in here that we talk about on our show. My favorite of the week probably so far is the woman who used a 3D print of her vagina and turned it into a kayak.
ooh,
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. So if you guys are interested in all the BS stories of the week, we're good.
That probably gets wet.
If you listen,
it starts wet.
He's going to steal your joke. If you listen to my whatever the first episode is in August, you'll hear my kayak story, and it was horrifying. I did not have a good time.
I have not been kayaking since last year. I love going kayaking, but I went last year to Brookville. I normally go to Blues Canoes in Edinburgh. Went out to Brookville and got about a mile out on the river, and I noticed that my kayak had a hole in it.
You and I had the same goddamn kayak,
and I swear I had.
That's gonna need more.
I had a big ass cooler of beer just weighing down the bottom of this thing. I was like, man, I've kayaked a lot in my life.
My butt was getting wet.
Oh yeah, I got to the point. After I pissed myself a few times in the kayak, then that's always my thing. I pee myself just because I'm drunk anyway, so I just throw water on me, just mix it all together, and dump the thing. That's completely disgusting, but whatever. But so we're
over here like, yeah, well, that's my thing.
this is my thing. I just whip it out and piss in the kayak.
It's just preparing for a jellyfish.
But so I got this big ass cooler weighing me down. My fat ass is in the kayak, and next thing I know, I'm getting real top heavy, and I was in the Boy Scouts growing up. I've been kayaking hundreds of times. I've never flipped one, and I'm getting real top heavy. I'm like, man, this is I said, I'm not that drunk, Next thing I know, I flipped the damn thing. I was like, crap. So I noticed the kayak is probably 200 pounds at this point. So I'm drunk. I literally drank a whole growler full of craft beer. I got actually a Masscraft. They have a orange IPA, a blood orange IPA from Masscraft. So I chugged one of that and one of those.
I had a buddy
in a growler.
that used to manage that place.
Really? It's pretty nice.
Cool.
I enjoy that place. For indie breweries, I would put that in the upper echelon, in my opinion, as far as taste.
Yeah, their pretzels are good.
And it's all the Masscraft. It's all like old music themed, I guess. They've got
You're
records
talking
and stuff.
about Chili Water.
No, I've been to Chili Water too, but Masscraft is
Masscraft.
Wait, are you telling me there are 2 blood orange IPAs
Yeah.
in Indianapolis?
Yeah.
There.
We are a big time
But no,
Masscraft. Well, the explosion of craft beer in this town is unbelievable. I wanted to start a brewery until I realized there's one every corner. They're the new Starbucks.
I'm currently drinking Dark Horse Brewing out of Marshall, Michigan.
This is my favorite beer, by the way.
Is
Local and all encompassing.
You got the lift off. I had Metazoa's puppy something earlier, peanut butter chocolate.
And honestly, the first time I tried this beer, I just happened to be at because I was in college. I was a Keystone Light guy. I could get 30. I would call them dirty 30s, Keystones.
30
for like
Keystones for $11.
yeah, it was like $13 at Walmart. So I remember one day I went to 20 Tap there in Broad Ripple, and wasn't really into craft beer, but I was like, I'm feeling a little adventurous today. So I seen this beer. It was from Shelbyville. I was like, Liftoff, huh? And a lot of people don't know this, is that started in a garage in Shelbyville. Liftoff did.
Really?
Yeah. And now it's huge.
I think McComas has talked about that. Todd McComas, yeah.
He's a Shelbyville guy.
My sister has a question for you.
Oh, no.
She want a refund?
No. You know what Jenny Reuter?
Jeannie Reuter.
Yeah.
Yes.
Reading's hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
She just,
What'd you say?
word for word, ask him if he ever had sex with Jeannie.
No.
I want to know if he's the white guy from Morristown she's always complaining about.
Well, I mean, that's a good possibility. No, me and Jeannie were friends growing up. I mean, we've got an interesting relationship. If I seen her across the street, we flip each other off. It's not like hi, but I was, always cool with Jeannie. Now, me and her sister,
That's a different story.
different story.
All right.
No, I love her sister.
I
I'm saying.
left for a second. What'd I miss? Dakota?
I hang out with her sister more than I do Jeannie. Jeannie's like 4 years younger than me, and her sister's like 2 years older than me. So,
Okay.
but Jeannie, yeah, there's a good possibility I could be the white guy. I mean, there's a lot of white people from Morristown that Jeannie's going to complain about. It's hard being...
There's not a lot of the other.
I mean, I love Jeannie to death, but it's hard being a half black girl and going to a small white community school in the middle of a cornfield,
Well, I think I brought it up. I'm raising a small black child. So.
Oh, you are? Great.
Still? That's still going on?
Unless she dumped me in the last 30 minutes.
Check your texts.
That's funny. I've always wanted to adopt like a foreign child. I think it'd be hilarious. So, a funny story. Me and my brother, known as the town crazy assholes.
How old's your brother? You said he's 12 years older?
Yeah, he's 41. I think, no, he might just turn 42.
That's a great age.
Yeah, I think he just turned 42.
My brother looks 41.
Yep. Just turned 42, July 29th of this year. So literally just turned 42. But yeah, he's 12 years older than me. And we're getting hit up all the time about hosting an exchange student. Like, no joke. And I'm like, we're like the last person that needs to be showing some exchange student American culture. And I was like, we should do it. We should get an exchange student. And I said, we'll create a YouTube like series about us just, raising an exchange student. All I'm picturing is like me getting up. I walk in the house early in the morning and my brother is doing a bong rip with a 16-year-old Asian kid before he goes to class. I mean, that's all. I mean, like, that's all I'm picturing right now. I'm like, this would just be gold. Like, we should just write a show. We don't even necessarily have to, to host an exchange. I mean, we could ruin this kid, but if we wanted,
It's a good premise for a TV show.
this kid would come back in a cut off shirt and the America F yeah shirt with cut off sleeves, red, white, and blue jean shorts.
If you do that to a kid, you need to make sure that they never have to go home.
No,
you need
they
to
might
find a
not
way
want to
that
come home.
Yeah, that they could just get to stay.
I went to Tokyo earlier this year,
I've
and
always
they
wanted to
do
go.
some interesting things in a place called Roppongi.
I've heard that place is pretty cool though.
It was neat. It wasn't worth the flight.
Yeah, what was the flight? Like $1,100?
It was for work.
You're talking about the time and
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it took me 32 hours.
you wouldn't believe it, but Danny is the most well-traveled, other than Guffey, who went to Afghanistan a couple of times. He's the most well-traveled person in the room.
A great sightseeing over there in Afghan, right?
Oh yeah, the roads are wonderful there.
Roads, nice roads. People are nice.
Do they complain about
paper
potholes?
Did you fit in with the culture? Did you wipe your ass with your hand too, or
No,
No.
I didn't.
I've tried that.
I used a
once.
porta john
Yeah, it's a Christian.
Not
thing
the
to
one
do.
at the end, though.
It's a Christian
always
thing to do.
on the end.
I got to bring my Christian culture because I am sitting next to a Jewish man, so I have to,
Oh, man. All right, I'm going to do the, in Boss Hog tradition, the graceful transition to the first thing that we actually did want to talk about today. It is September now, so it's hurricane season, so it's time for me to be the dick. A year ago, we had Steve Horowitz on the program, and we talked about, and Steve's been on a couple of times. He's the economist from Ball State University, chirp, chirp. And one of the items that he's interviewed about, there was a CNN article I shared earlier this week. And of course, people get angry without listening or watching or reading. They just started commenting on the premise. They read the headline.
They read the headline.
And
surprise, surprise.
It is that and this is just a reminder, literally, I think a year ago we did the same thing. So we don't have to really dig into this real deep. You guys can go back and listen to the previous episodes when we talked about this with Steve. But I shared it this week, and of course people got upset, and it's topical. So we'll get into it for a second or so. But the basic premise is that when you have an emergency, prices go up for things, for gasoline, for water, for generators. And it's the most efficient way. You actually get to see markets working, which is interesting to folks
It's the only way to do it.
that come from the Liberty side. But it's the most efficient way to allocate resources.
Yeah.
So I shared this deal where Steve was on. It was actually from 2 years ago when there was a hurricane happening in
I
Florida.
think it was Irma.
Yeah, I don't remember that. There's so many hurricanes. I don't remember the name or the whatever. But it was 2017.
I should name a hurricane after my baby mama. I feel like I'd be a real wretched.
What is her name?
Sarah. Hurricane Sarah. Yeah.
Oh, see.
Yeah, Hurricane Sarah. That's a cat.
You
They're
gotta
going to make a new
watch that.
category.
I've seen
That's wiping out
Hurricane
the whole.
Sarah before.
That name should have been a
It's also
huge
known
red
as nap
flag.
time.
Oh yeah, it was. I red flags. I got every red flag in the book, and I still went for it. I got a beautiful trophy out of it, though. Yeah, 5-year-old daughter. Well, she'll be 5 in September. This is September.
Did
wow.
you also name your daughter Sarah?
No chance. Yeah, about a
strange?
month after she got pregnant, I stopped liking her, so that was a wrap. But
Isn't it strange you never hear female juniors like Sarah Jr.?
yeah,
It'd be strange.
No, it
you'd
would
be
be
like,
soon.
you'd be like, what's wrong with
Don't
your
say
parents?
that too much. The feminists are going to come after you now. They're going to be like, you know what?
2 weeks ago when Dakota announced his wife's pregnancy on the program, we talked about the
Congratulations,
naming.
by the way.
More than 2 weeks
We
ago.
talked about whatever. We talked about the naming rights of the kid, and I said that the male should have higher naming right value than if it's a kid, it's a female, because nobody really remembers the girl's name later.
I wouldn't try to die on that sword.
It's true.
I wanted
terrible
to.
idea.
I don't.
It's a
think
permanent
it
name.
is.
The other one, I think the male naming rights are worth
But
more.
you're only picking out the first name if you're picking out the name. So why does that? Why
Yeah,
does
you
it
already
matter at all?
stamped it on
because
the
there
back
is
end.
zero chance that if you name the child Sarah, that if she has a kid, she's also going to name her daughter Sarah. But if you have
Just
the naming
don't be
rights and you say
extremely
that
privileged.
the child,
I think this
the
is
child's
stupid.
name is going to be Steve,
I
then
think
the
it
next
is, too.
version of it is going to be Steve
It's
as well.
dumb.
It's more premium.
It is.
No.
dumb.
Anyway, back to the other thing that I'm a dick over: hurricanes.
Well, there's
I
a
don't
lot
think
of
you're a
things you're
dick.
over. We can start. Like I've got a long list of Jeremiah's.
Do you have it on a Google Doc yet?
I can send it to you.
I just recently uploaded my list
Do
to
it.
a Google Doc.
Do what my ex did and literally make a bulleted
gonna merge
list about the things I'm doing wrong in this relationship. So
Can we
merge them
compare
together.
lists later and see if you have anything that I don't?
Oh,
have?
I'm sure some of it would align.
you think that those are things that make me a bad person, and I think they're features.
Let's say explain to the audience.
Yes. So basically, what Steve's line of reasoning is that there's a finite amount of bottled water available.
Correct.
And instead of somebody saying, "Hey, I want to go take this bottled water and take it home," and I bought it for $1.25 at Walmart for a case because they had it on sale, because Walmart didn't raise the price of it to $5 or $7 a case to keep people from buying too much of it.
Right.
Somebody may take it, and then it never gets out so that people that actually need it can use it.
It's not even like someone. It's almost a guarantee. You know, you're going to have that family of 30 that goes in there and buys 8 bottles of water, or you know the rich family that uses. I know people that give bottled water to their dogs. You know,
Exactly.
refuse to give dogs
tap water.
tap water,
Yeah.
even though I make tea, Kool-Aid, whatever from tap water. They're afraid to give tap water to their dogs.
So they're going to bathe their dog in
Which
it,
will-
is the example he used.
Yeah.
So what happens is that it also sends the coolest part of it is it sends a signal to say, hey, somebody like Danny who's got a free weekend and says, hey, I can rent a truck and I can drive water down to Florida and I can sell it
No,
for $8 a case.
I have a job here. That
22-year-old Danny. Lawn
Craigslist
care
Danny?
Yeah, lawn
Yeah.
care Danny. Craigslist Danny would go rent a Ryder truck for 3 days, go to Kroger, buy all the water they could, and drive down to Jacksonville, and then sell it for $9 a case, and make yourself $1,000. And now the people in Jacksonville
The
had clean
problem
water
is
they wouldn't
now
have
looking
before.
back, I'd be like, man, I may have made $1,000, but it still cost me $7 at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, you
Like
just,
this is a horrible investment.
Yeah, but
it
they were going
encourages
down there.
donations too. I mean, if you think about it, just to simplify it for everybody, it's all supply and demand. Everything in economics comes down to the supply and demand curve somehow, you know. And the fact that when there is a disaster, obviously there's less supply because you don't have people, you don't have trucks coming in and delivering new fresh water. So when the supply is lower, prices have to go up. to stop from doing exactly what you said. Mr. or Mrs. Privilege coming in buying 30 packets of water.
Nobody ever gets to drink it.
Exactly.
Or use it.
And the argument from the CNN host was, what about the poor single mother who can't afford the water after the prices?
They're not going to be able to afford $5 waters after somebody buys 8 packs of them. It's the same.
The problem is that by the time she gets to the store, they're all gone anyway.
Yeah,
right.
At least
So
this
gives her a
hope.
chance to buy a case for $5. She's not going to buy 20 cases at the higher price, but she'll buy enough to get by.
Right.
That's her family can Venmo her money from Indiana if they have to, right?
It takes a couple days to get it in your account. And you want to pay the premium.
Well, I mean, they can pay you the extra money for the premium too.
Yeah, it's like the premium Snapchat.
Yeah,
so
you pay. Are you on the premium Snapchat?
I do not have one myself, but I've got a few friends that have them, and I've got a complimentary membership or two. It's funny because
Do you offer a premium Snapchat?
We
we
probably should. No, I don't know what it'd be. Maybe me getting out of the shower, listening to Return of the Mac, doing a helicopter dick every morning. I don't know what it would be, but I feel like some people would pay for that.
It's complicated though. You've got to wipe off the mirror to get the you got to get the bathroom mirror clean, and then you got to get a tripod. You've got a lot of expenses.
I've mastered the art of taking a shower. I can take
He
a
doesn't
full
need a tripod.
I can take a full shower in 90 seconds. I don't
Well,
think
because you're bald.
Well, yeah, I don't have to.
All you have to do is just get wet.
Yeah, I just get the main parts, the underarms, my balls, and I'm good to go.
Serious question.
Okay.
Do you wash your feet?
I wash the top of them. I don't wash the bottom of them.
Do you reach down and actually scrub your feet?
It depends on how my back feels that day.
I don't think I know anyone that actually washes their feet, except women.
Whenever I was having issues with my foot, before my podiatrist appointments, I would scrub my feet. I don't want them to be horribly.
You didn't want to be embarrassed in front of the podiatrist who was going to get paid to touch your feet.
No, I didn't. It's not that I would be embarrassed. I figured I would make the experience better for him.
He's seen a lot of feet.
He's seen something a lot worse than what you have.
I know, but if I was him, I wouldn't want a guy that just got done working 8 hours outside in the summer heat coming in and kicking off his work boots to stick his toe in my face.
Do you think you're going to get 10% off because your feet smell good?
That would be nice.
I mean, depending on who
I didn't though.
I'll say, depending on who I've slept with that week, sometimes I'll take Everclear and a scour pad in the shower with me just to get that thing extra clean. Yeah.
Dakota, this is a good time for a foot update. You had surgery twice this year.
I'm all back to normal.
You're all good?
It's good.
What'd you do to your foot?
I canceled my last appointment. I had a horrible toenail issue. They had to cut some of my actual toe skin off. It was this whole
nice
thing. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Should have brought the pictures in.
It caused us to reschedule a show, I believe. It was it was severe. Dakota on surgery.
Yeah. My co-host had a colonoscopy, and we actually showed the pictures on the show.
Yeah, that sounds like content, Jer, right there.
Yeah.
With the
that's definitely for the Patreon account.
Once you've had a podcast for any length of time, you go, oh, you've had a major medical thing.
Yeah,
this is going to go into the show.
Absolutely,
this is absolutely content for the program.
I can't wait. Yeah, just wait till I need ED medicine. I can't wait for that. That's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great show that week.
All right, Danny. Have you followed the hurricane pricing thing? Are you familiar with this concept?
No.
Danny, tell me what you would do if you were out of water at home. There was a tornado that just went through town, and your house is torn apart, roof is gone, whatever, and you go to the store. You're going to pick up a case of 24 water bottles, and it is $36.
I'd buy it and worry about it later.
Yeah. Well, you're not a wealthy white man.
You're not a poor single mother.
But I have a credit card too. Yeah. So I would figure it out. Or I would find another avenue to get water.
Like your host.
I want you to be very hostile right now, Guffey.
Okay.
Make his phone ring. He's at Soldier Field right now. Our boy Chase. It's 10 minutes to kick off, 18 minutes to kick off.
Is it bad that part of me wants almost like a natural disaster? That way we can all go completely primitive to the people. The only people that know how to hunt deer and can purify water by themselves make it.
I have a life straw, and I know where a stream is,
yeah.
And I know how to boil water. So
you're good.
I feel like Dakota will get my power back on.
I'll learn to kill something with a spear. I'll make my own spear. I will be like
my neighbors
squirrels and shit.
Have you seen that video or that picture of the orangutan using a spear?
What happened?
No, I love that.
Our current subscription does not cover outgoing calls.
He might have
What
shady
is the
button
deal?
you.
What did you do, Dakota? Did we
Who
not pay
knows?
the bill?
Is that a
Did
wood
Did
brick?
they change our rules? That's a
Yes, that's very primitive.
it's a feature.
It's a wooden brick.
It's a door. It's probably so they can screw into the so they can bring the horses in here. Back in the day, our studio in
the old
downtown
carriage
Newcastle
house.
is basically an old garage for horses.
I've got one of those in my house.
That's the deal. So price gouging. Danny doesn't care. Matt thinks we're great. Dakota, are you heartless like me?
Yes, I am.
Guffy, you're all good.
Yeah, I'm
Yo,
okay with it.
Kev, what do you think?
Kevin, my father-in-law, is watching the waiting on the football game to start. By the way, I wore my my Colts jersey tonight. I was trying to decide what I was going to wear. If I was going to wear a Bears throwback thing because it was Bears Packers tonight, and I said no. I've got Aaron Rodgers on the fantasy team, so I'm going to stick with Colts blue because it's NFL opening day.
Are you a Bears fan?
No, I'm a Colts fan.
No, okay. That's what I thought.
No. Our boy Chase. I was going to wear Bears stuff in solidarity. It was left over from an old Halloween costume.
So he's a Bears fan?
Huge Bears fan.
I got to ask Bear. I just want to know, why do Bears fans hate the Colts so bad? Like
06.
me as well, yeah.
I think it's because, and this is just what I've seen on the internet.
Super big sports
Is
fan.
because we've been good since 1985. Is that why they're mad?
Well, no, it's
Yeah.
because I've been.
He did not answer.
I've
Just keep
also-
bringing him until he answers now. You are commanded to
I was
just
also
keep
curious
bringing
about this, and what I heard is that before the Colts came
Nope.
to
He refuses to
Indianapolis,
answer.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of them are Bears fans.
everybody was huge Bears fans.
Yeah, Bears fans, Bengals fans, Pittsburgh Steelers fans.
So then all of a sudden,
Not many Lions fans,
Colts
though.
moved in, and yeah.
And not many Lions. There was never any Lions fans.
But they're
yeah.
just as close.
You're right. Yeah, never any Lions fans. Barry Sanders, bless his heart.
No,
Had-
but I mean, Dakota, in your lifetime, the Colts have always existed,
They've always been.
and they've been good your entire life. You're born in 1996.
Yes.
Oh, wow, you're that young?
You're born post Jim Harbaugh. Like it's
Don't know who that is.
Jesus Christ.
you never watched Jim Harbaugh play, did you?
Nope.
No, because he would maybe caught one season.
97.
Harbaugh's-
Yeah, he's
it was
a
Who
one-
last-
did, who did
a
he
one-year-old
punch in the
child.
face? Was
Jim
it Jim
Kelly.
Kelly?
Yeah, Jim Kelly broke his hand.
They
Nice.
called him like a sissy or something. I'll show you.
I can't confirm that. Yeah, he's a fiery guy. So yeah, in Dakota's life, the Colts, they moved here 12 years before he was born.
In your life, you probably barely watched Peyton Manning too, didn't you?
But Peyton, I remember, like, whenever I was growing up, Peyton Manning was the big star.
Like my first favorite football player was John Elway. I remember watching John Elway in those early Super Bowls. That was like my first recollection of football. I do remember the Colts Steelers
So
AFC
you're
Championship
30,
game.
so football becomes like a thing when you're about 10 years old.
I'd say when I was about 11. The 2001, 2002 Colts season was the first Colts season I remember watching religiously.
Yeah,
And we were 6
and that would have
10.
made sense because Elway, when you're 7 years old, was
Yeah.
winning the Super Bowls, 97, 98, somewhere in there.
Like I even remember the Colts Pittsburgh Steelers AFC Championship game where
Aaron
the Hail
Bailey
Mary
didn't catch it. Yeah,
Well, he didn't catch it. I still think he caught it, but whatever.
you want to feel old?
Yeah, go ahead.
That wasn't in his lifetime.
That's pretty amazing.
What's funny is
Actually, I think he was probably 15 days old.
which is crazy.
I remember watching the Bills play in New York,
Yeah.
which I was really young for that.
I remember Bills Giants
Really? Wow.
Super Bowl.
That's
And-
it.
And growing up in New York State, obviously, we were in Bills country. So Scott Norwood missing the field goal ruined a Sunday.
The first Super Bowl I remember watching is the Elway, the Denver Broncos, Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl, and I think that was '98.
It was.
Yeah, because I don't even remember watching.
Ice Storm in Atlanta, and I think Eugene Robertson, who's the cornerback. He was named
Eugene Rob. No, yeah, he wore the sleeves.
Yeah, he was
Him
like
and,
man of the year, and then the next day he got arrested in a strip club.
Let's go.
NFL Man of the Year.
The Warren Sapp
like
situation
Friday-
or what?
Like Friday night, Saturday he gets
There
arrested
are-
in a strip club.
there
Super
are
Bowl
worse
Sunday.
things
That's not who it
that-
was.
There are worse things that famous football players have done.
I'm surprised I've
Just
never
ask
been
O.J.
arrested in a
Simpson.
strip club.
What's that?
I'm surprised I've never
O.J.
been
Simpson didn't do it. He was innocent.
Is it because of how far away you live from a strip club?
No, I mean,
I mean you can't go every
I mean, you can
day.
be a Brad
my
22 minutes.
See,
worse
I'm
than
really good at going to the strip club. I've been in sales for the last 7 years, so I'm really good at getting what I
Saying a
want.
seance?
Seance. Yeah, I've been doing those too. I have a Ouija board rug that I sit on, and I worship the devil. It's great. No, when I go to the strip club,
As long as you meet your quota.
That's not the question.
I can get what I want out of females at the strip club.
So I have a funny strip club story.
What'd you do?
So it was for one of my buddi's bachelor parties, and Jeremiah was there.
I don't remember.
Yeah, and there was a
Never been to a strip club before. What's up, Father?
there was a woman there
He's paying
named
no attention. It's
a
fine.
woman there named Kim, who was of Asian descent.
I remember she was a hairdresser.
Yeah, she was a hairdresser,
Oh, that's
and
not
she's a
racist
super
at all.
nice
Go ahead.
lady. And she asked me for my phone number. I was like, I can't. You're a stripper.
That's
not going to do that. So, but then I'm also in sales. She's like, well, do you have like a business card or something? I was like, well, yeah, you might need to buy like some industrial supplies, maybe some cleaning product or something.
Yeah.
So like a dumbass, I gave her my.
need a mortgage? Here you go.
So she ended up calling me and texting me the rest of the bachelor party weekend. It was hilarious.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm not proud to say how many strippers I've been with. Never paid for one. My best friend, though, he actually got robbed by an escort in Vegas. That was a funny story.
Danny's got another story brewing.
You been robbed by an escort?
No, but back to Tokyo. We had a
You should just be happy a woman showed up to your room and actually had a vagina.
well, sadly, I think I'm sworn to secrecy on the Tokyo stuff. We'll have to keep that off.
Your friend's not here. Go ahead.
Oh, it was bad. Guy got took for $15,000.
Oh, okay. My buddy only got 700 stolen from him.
$15,000 and got to spend all day in a Tokyo police office next day for
I don't know
heroin laced alcohol.
Nice. Heroin laced alcohol. That seems like a good way to die.
It was bad.
Not
mine though.
If I was visiting Tokyo, that's probably not the vacation I would have.
I don't think so. There'd probably be women involved. I'm not proud to say I'd spend a little bit of money on
Moral of the
red light
story:
district.
if you're 65 and some 22-year-old
falls in love with you,
thinks you're cute and falls in love with you,
well,
she doesn't really like.
Well,
you.
that's 101 right there. You learn that in freshman year of college, right?
They teach
First
you that
time you go in a strip club, you're like,
Morristown
hey,
High.
listen, Bambi doesn't like you as much as she
This was
says
at
she
an
does.
Irish pub in Tokyo. It wasn't even a strip club.
They have Irish pubs in Tokyo?
Super nice, yeah.
Do they have American restaurants in Tokyo?
So I did.
It's like a random barbecue joint.
Dick's Bodacious Barbecue.
Oh, yeah. Famous Dave's out there is awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the rib tips? Oh, no. But I did have their McDonald's. It was the best thing I had out there.
Seriously, McDonald's?
Dakota's never been so quiet on a show. This is impressive.
Just listening to Danny's.
Do you not like butt stuff, Dakota?
There's not been much time to interject.
Oh, say what you want, buddy. It's your show.
No,
Tell me to shut the hell up.
There's a lot going on. Yeah. One minute we're
Plus
talking about football, and the next minute we're talking about heroin, alcohol.
I love it.
It was
Price gouging from.
It's never good when the president of your company calls you when you land. Go, what happened? And I'm like, I was kind of guilty by association.
I think that makes a great trip.
Yeah, he was like, well, you're not in trouble, but this guy.
So let's go from one vice to the next. Indiana finally has sports gaming.
Congratulations, Indiana, on legalizing freedom. Great job, guys.
Mm-hmm. So I guess we can go place a bet at the horse track.
Yeah, I thought about going there after this and just putting money down the Colts. Like, people are sleeping on the Colts this year. I'm like, do it. Sleep on them.
So I did see that an associate got the Packers plus 3.5 this afternoon.
Packers are winning
in
that
Indiana.
Game. Yeah.
So I think that's a pretty damn good number.
Yeah.
I got to figure out where you can go because I guess there's off track. I don't know if the off track matters or not. But
I
downtown
imagine-
Indy's
Go to
got
Winter
one.
Circle.
Northside Indy's got one.
Pretty much any OTB,
And
any
any
off-track betting site, and as well as, of course, the casinos that have a sports book.
So
Now, Governor Holcomb put a video out on his Facebook page, and he said that he was proud to be the very first Hoosier to place a bet on sports.
Now, does he have secret servers? Because I just want to say that I'd love to kick him right in the nuts.
So here's my deal with Governor Holcomb on all of these. Is
Yeah.
he's the first man in line to buy beer on Sunday. He's the first guy to
To
bet
gamble.
on to do gambling.
I can't wait till he
But-
lights a blunt up
but
when we
he
legalize
won.
marijuana. I can't wait till.
I bet he's dying to buy a car on Sunday too.
But for whatever reason, he runs to the headlines once it's legal and fine. But I'll swear I have
I
not
hate
seen
politicians.
him. I have not seen him promote any of this as a campaign issue to start with.
No.
But man, when it's fun and it gets him a news item, he's the first
He
guy in
put-
front of a camera.
He put $10 on the Colts winning the Super Bowl, $10 on the Pacers winning the NBA championship, and $10 on the Fever
Big spender.
winning that night's game.
What a bum.
He said
Wager
that
a little more money than that, buddy.
He said that this all has to be done in moderation. So-
Moderate. What's the governor's salary?
All right, let's check.
We should
right
look
now.
that up.
We're gonna look that up.
It's
right
It's got to
now.
be six figures, right?
Barely, I think.
Really?
He
Yeah.
doesn't have a mortgage, does he? We pay for his house, right?
He's got a free house now, but I don't know if he kept what he had before.
No, he's playing.
All right, over unders here, everybody. I want to lock in a number from everybody.
120.
120 from Matt. Dakota, what's the governor make?
148.
Okay, we're gonna write these down. I'd say Matt 120, Dakota 148, DD. Danny said two. You said 200. 230. I'm gonna say he's making 97. Just as a guess.
He did
Guffey,
he did the Jeopardy.
I'm going
or not Jeopardy.
Guffey, you got a number?
Price is Right.
Yeah, I'm going 105.
Guffey's got a laptop in front of him. He's a cheater. He's probably just.
I
looked
did
it
not.
up.
He's asking somebody in the feed there.
He's probably just looked it up.
Hey guys, look that shit up, please, real quick.
No, it's like I'm thinking like
All right.
105.
The winning thing will be whatever the 2018 salary was, because that's going to be the latest and greatest.
And the verdict.
Eric Holcomb's salary 2018 is $127,800.
Let's go.
What?
$127,000.
Let's go. The price is wrong, bitch.
127 with a free house. And he bet a whole $30 on the Indiana sports team.
Hey, good for him, man. That's on the taxpayer's dollar. We appreciate that. As a libertarian, you spend that wisely, okay?
Man, he makes $10,000 a month to sign bills into law like that.
Wow. Good job, man. Sign your name. Okay, as fellow libertarians, let me guys ask you, because
Yeah.
I did see the Gary Johnson stickers over there. As a libertarian, how did you feel about the Libertarian Party and nominating a guy who can't even communicate the message for president?
I liked Gary Johnson.
I
thought he was moderate.
I
thought he was moderate enough in a very polarizing climate to try to pull people from both sides of the aisle.
I think he catered too much to the left. He was trying way too hard to cater to the left. And I think there's much more opportunity on the right.
I would love to see a presidential candidate that just simply says, here's who I am, and not couch it at all, and just truly be the liberty candidate.
Honestly,
And be yourself.
And people like to give Austin Peterson a lot of crap, but to me, he was the much better candidate. Not only did
Austin Peterson was the one that brought me in.
really,
Him and Rex Bell.
Well, he runs the Libertarian Republic, right?
Yeah.
Still, so I thought Austin, even though I don't necessarily agree with everything he says, he
Good
can
messenger and
he can
hit the
articulate the
people that are
message
under
better
40.
than everybody. And I feel like you put him on a debate stage with Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, he makes them both look stupid.
Mark Sean Orr thought $106,000. Christy Avery thought $110,000. So y'all went over.
What's Mitch Daniels make now?
At Purdue, I don't know
Probably
if
a
that's
lot.
all completely
I'm
Republican.
gonna
bet
guess
that's
they had to
$500,000.
pay him. They had to pay him.
I'm going to guess it's $2 bills, at least.
You think 200,000?
At least.
I'm gonna go 250.
I'd say
I was
it's
going to go
500.
250.
That place.
You know what?
makes-
300.
No, screw it. I'll go 400,000. I'm thinking it's closer to $500,000 too.
Oh man!
Holy cow! Is it more?
Is it 2 million?
It's like
800
D1 coach money.
$842,400.
Good for him. He might be the only Republican that I would vote for as a other than Rand Paul, of course, maybe, but as a presidential candidate.
Thomas Massey. Thomas Massey.
Oh, yeah,
runs.
Massey, of course.
I'm there.
There's rumors that Amash is going to run as a libertarian. I hope that happens.
Doubt.
I don't know
think
what's
so?
going to happen with Amash. I really don't know. Lincoln Chafee's been out there as a possibility too, so who knows?
Do you think there's any doubt that Trump wins the next election?
no, he's
I think he wins in a landslide, no matter who he goes against.
It's too early.
Joe Biden couldn't even give a speech on climate change without his eyes squirting blood.
sometimes it
And
happens.
he's their front runner? Like,
I'm like, seriously, here's what I love.
Joe Biden would be the oldest man to ever be sworn into the presidency.
But not
The
only
current guy is the oldest guy to ever be sworn into the presidency.
That's it, gentlemen. The season has started.
Yeah, Bears receive the ball, and what do they start on now? The 20?
That's the
25.
Packers receiving.
25, I believe.
The Bears kicked it, the Packers received. Is it 25? Because we're not men anymore.
No.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, 25.
But what I was saying is, I love clowning on the left so much because you have people that not only like to complain about people that are career politicians, but also complain about just white elitists, and your front runners for the Democratic Party are career politicians. You have Biden, who's been in politics for 44 years now, and he's an old rich white guy, and who's rich because of politics, not because he started anything.
Bernie Sanders.
Oh, Bernie!
That's hilarious.
Oh, don't get me started.
Bernie Sanders wrote a book. That's
too
why
late.
he's rich.
I can't. If there's one
You know
person,
what? If you want 4 houses, you can write a book too, Danny.
I love that. Yeah, I love that.
Well,
Unfortunately, I have friends that are Bernie Sanders fans. And
The Packers have -1 rushing yards on the entire season.
Jeremiah,
go.
I'm trying to talk politics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And if you want to be the leading candidate for the Democrats, just learn a really cool magic trick where you can make your eyes squirt out blood on command.
let's go back to football just real quick. We have to give a shout out to Aaron
can show
Rodgers.
you how
Aaron
to do
Rodgers'
that.
official NFL photo has a porn stash.
Yeah, he's got a porn stash, which is not a bad play. If you're banging Mila Kunis and
Danica
Patrick
nowadays.
now, yeah, good credit. I'd definitely. How many videos has porn stash Rodgers made with Danica Patrick?
I didn't get that Vine.
You didn't get that Vine? I haven't either, but I can't wait.
You got to be on that premium TikTok.
Yeah,
Rodgers and Kunis are together? They've hooked up?
Danica Patrick and
Oh, they're together
He
now.
used to be with me.
No, I thought she was with Ashton Kutcher.
I want
married
everyone to
with
know
kids.
that Guffy.
No,
put
who
that
was
one
who was
on.
he with before? It wasn't Mila Kunis. Who was he with before Danica?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, she plays Sloan Sabbath on The Newsroom.
Yeah, she's hot.
Yeah.
I'll give it to Rodgers. Bangs Danica Patrick doesn't talk to his own mother though.
Well, my mother's texting me, telling me to watch my language.
See, she hasn't
She's
reached
like,
out
I
to me.
predicted
I've not
it.
been a problem.
Because you don't
She's
answer.
like, who? She's like,
Ask Mom who answers
Olivia
her.
Munn. Olivia Munn.
Olivia Munn. Yeah, she can get it. Bless her heart.
Well, she sounds hideous.
She sounds hideous.
Olivia.
Then you see her picture.
She didn't like the cold Green Bay winners.
Jeremiah's
Dakota,
having-
describe what's happening over here.
Jeremiah's having serious issues. His microphone arm. So what we had to do was last week. Betsy Mills came on the show. It was her birthday, and we got her chocolate cake, and it got all over the tablecloth. So I took it home to my wife, and she washed the tablecloth. And
Dutifully.
I thought you meant the woman for a second.
Guffy and I put the tablecloth back on today before the show, and we put the mic stands back up.
I do love the mic stands. By the way.
Somehow Guffy totally messed up Jeremiah's.
I'm
you have
over
to-
here reattaching my mic stand with
It
no
is
cough
You
button.
have to
completely
understand,
backwards.
Jeremiah's the only one out of the entire section there that does this whole arm jerk move, the whole microphone, the 3,000 degrees.
How did you get it
the
actually
autism.
backwards? It's
We've got to just survive for now, man. I don't know. I don't know how he did what he did, but I'm holding on tight for dear life.
Danny's is
The
about
whole
to
thing is
fall
upside
off.
down. Yeah, Danny's is hanging. Guffy, are you?
I'm
What
always
are you
doing great
good at when it
over
comes
here.
to producing this show?
I did hours.
You get what you,
You
pay
did a
for.
good job, man. You did a good job. Very proud of you. I'm very proud of the positioning of my mic. Sometimes I grab it
Yeah, very. authoritative.
That's one thing you have to get used to with the mic flags is
They will fall down on you.
fall. Yeah, for sure. Especially with mic flags, I notice I can't hold the microphone like I'm a rapper.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I got to hold it
you
professionally.
you can actually hold it better like a rapper.
Really hold
See?
it right there.
Yeah, you do it like that.
Check that out. Learning
Yeah,
some stuff.
Come on now.
I wonder.
Welcome to a real podcast, studio.
Yeah, that's pretty. I'm pretty impressed right now. These mic flags got me going though. I think I'm gonna come in here and mess with you guys and just put pictures of me on your mic flags.
Just gonna steal. Yeah, well, you get us on the right day, we'll be running out of time and get on the air and go, oh shit,
There we go.
look at that.
How's
There's,
math?
Mom's gonna be mad again.
there's
Maybe you should add to the swear jar.
if I carried cash.
I think
Your mom's gonna text you and be like, "Man, our
You can
DJ's a
Venmo and
real
or
provocative
Antidote.
piece of shit."
You're not.
Guffy's
Yeah,
made
mom's
a
gonna
lot
say.
of money tonight.
Mom's gonna say you can't use him as a DJ because he brings up bad words.
I don't think that's true because when we played "We'll Fuck You with the Lights On," Mom and Dad,
Oh, they were
one of
getting
the
it.
first
They
couples
were
up.
getting it. I was like, "What the hell is going on right now?"
That was the best thing ever.
I was like, "Fuck it, I'm grabbing my Snapchat. I'm going right now." We're
I
getting
must
this on.
have. I must have been getting a beer. I missed that.
And the best thing is, before you even come up and requested it, I had it queued up. Like, I had Willa Walker queued up on my computer, and I took a picture and sent it to my brother, because I introduced my brother to Willa Walker Jr., and I said, should I play it? You know, I said, just because sometimes, literally, I've been at weddings before where the whole crowd is drunk. I was like, I'm just going to throw something crazy
Just
out.
see what happens.
So I've played Pantera like late at night just for the shits and giggles, and just watched Grandma headbang to Pantera, and I'm like, let's go.
I've tried so hard to talk Sarah into Crazy Bitch, and I could never get that played at our wedding.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted.
To me, I probably play that at 70% of the weddings I do.
No,
it's really good late. It's got to be late in the night when everybody's
It's gotta
drunk.
be after all of the ceremonies are over.
I know. I mean, it's kind of embarrassing because your grandma will get on the table and start, humping your grandpa, and you'll really think your whole life.
I'm fresh out of grandparents.
Yeah, but isn't that beautiful? That's what we all want.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is hilarious. But so my grandpa passed away in 2001, and one of my favorite stories near the end of my grandpa's life, I believe it was my grandma and grandpa's 53rd wedding anniversary. And so I moved out of my mom's house when I went to college, and my grandparents moved in to my mom's house. Well, I'm home for summer, and I'm living in the garage with my brother, which our garage has like 2 separate rooms. So we had a bedroom. Granted, it's not really climate controlled, but whatever. It is what it is. I was a college kid who was drunk every night, so I didn't care anyways. I passed out drunk every night anyways. But back to the story. So my grandpa comes to my brother. That was one of his bills he paid for DirecTV. Comes to my brother and told my brother, at 53, my grandpa was, I believe, 74 at the time, told my brother that he wanted to order grandma a dirty movie that night. And the best part was, so of course Greg calls me in his room. He's like, Grandpa wants this video tonight. And it was a group sex. It was like group sex 10 or some shit like that. I can't remember. But I just remember the next day, the Colts were playing. And Grandpa's sitting in my brother's room with me, my brother. We're watching the Colts game, and Grandpa just looked. He goes, "That movie wasn't very good." He goes, "It didn't have a plot or nothing."
He really likes the story.
So do I. I need to know why the nurse is screwing the doctor. To me, that's important.
You can't have holes in the plot line.
Just all be about
absolutely
charting.
not. The best thing about porn too is the acting is absolutely horrible, but I feel like you have to have a little bit of acting.
It's just a tough demographic.
Dakota, welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back, Dakota.
What did I miss?
Yeah, we were talking about football. Now we're talking about porn.
We were talking. Well, come on in, Josie. Your kid will love to hear about this.
Yeah, come on in. We'll teach him some things.
The 3-year-old just walked back in, so this will be good.
See, I told you he was half black.
Oh my goodness.
Say hi.
He's like, no, thank you.
He's been behind the microphone before.
Will, where you been, buddy? Were you at the club, hanging out? Where'd you go? Don't rob me of a Bill Cosby moment.
Here.
Kids saying that aren't his things.
Yeah, he's like, no, thank you.
This isn't his first time.
Yeah,
on the mic,
he's
though.
talked.
Oh, really?
Will's been on the show at least once before, if not twice. He came to the county fair and we did an interview.
I've got my daughter on the microphone one time. She just said taxation is theft. That's all.
Well, you've raised it right. So.
That's the only thing I could get her to say.
Are you Fisherman Will or
breathed
Cowboy Will
heavily.
today?
Heavy breathing.
Yeah.
You're what? Who are you today?
Will.
You're what, Will?
It's Will.
Fisherman Will.
Fisherman Will.
Rock and roll.
Is Danny going to take you fishing here in a couple weeks?
No.
No.
Tell me better.
No.
Do you want to go camping with him?
Bats.
Bats.
Bass. He's
Bass.
going bass fishing.
You like to bass fish?
Mm-hmm.
Have you caught a big one?
Bats.
Yes.
Show him how big the fish was.
How big is your biggest fish?
This big.
This
Wow.
big. That's as wide as your arms.
Wow.
Danny's going to have to. Is Danny taking you out on a boat yet?
No, we'll go on a boat soon, though, won't we?
Wanna buy a
Once
boat?
Uncle Jared takes us.
You want to go out on a boat?
Bats.
Yes. You're not going to be afraid?
No.
All right. Where did you come from? Where were you just at?
Did you go get food?
Bats.
Yes. Where?
What'd you have?
No. That's so.
He's not reliable.
He's not reliable.
Not reliable.
I haven't been fishing this year, but I did go cougar hunting last weekend.
Did you bag an old one?
Yeah.
You go to Champs on the north side?
I tell you, the older I get, the less patient I get with winning, because I'm ready to go home by 11:30 anymore. I go to a bar, I'm like, man, getting tired.
They're awful resilient.
Yeah, they are. Once they've had 2 divorces, I tell you what, they've got all the energy in the world. They lose 30 pounds and They're ready to go. They hit the bar and they hit on guys like me. It's great. It's easy pickings. How are you, ma'am?
There's my lovely bride.
Oh,
Can
great.
I introduce you to Sarah?
That's my lovely bride. She's the first thing she said to me is, "I'm tipsy." I'm like, "Great, you picked them wisely. Good job."
Yeah. She's been well.
Well taken care of.
She was at the
Well
club
fed
with Will.
today. Yeah, she was.
Well, let's ask her what she thinks. Bring her in here. No.
She's been on the show many times. All right, so we think the governor's placating or just playing everybody by acting excited about the about the sports gambling.
Are we going back to
Pence would never have
Indiana
signed that.
politics?
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I think we have to because it's a big deal to me. I mean, it's so exciting because I've been illegally gambling since I was 14, so it's cool that I can do it.
Was your
legal
bookie
now.
the guy from New Pal that just got arrested for running a multi-million-dollar gaming ring?
I've heard of the guy's name, so I'm not going to say that
He may have had your action at one point.
probably not directly to him, but I would say probably one of his goons. You know,
He had millions
In the network.
He had
yeah, I could. When I
millions.
seen the numbers he was pulling, I was like, good for him. And of course, we're going to call him a criminal, even though it's legal now. We're going to call him a criminal and put him in prison.
Well, you
4
see-
days before it was legal.
No, well, it's
right?
still not legal to do it on your own. You have to.
No.
Only the government can dabble in these sorts of things.
Yeah, if you,
can't
we're
do
about
it
to add to that
yourself.
swear jar here in a minute.
Only those that have properly paid enough money and are regulated.
Yeah,
can do
regulated,
it.
paid a
It's
license.
for your safety.
You know, it's so funny because when I worked at the casino, we had people that would complain, not really complain, but gossip and say that the casino, well, because I worked at Indiana Grand, and I was Indiana Live when I started there and went to Indiana Grand, because, of course, we fought for bankruptcy. And why did we fight for bankruptcy? Because people understand, just to open a casino in Indiana, you're levied with $250 million in taxes just to open your doors.
Just to have your permit to start.
Just to have ridiculous. Are you kidding me? $250 million. And what are they spending that money on? It's definitely not the roads. But Indiana, correct me if
it's
I'm
for
wrong
education.
here. I think more than half of our citizens are now on welfare. Now more than half of Indiana's on welfare.
I think it's
Probably the Healthy Indiana plan.
Yeah.
HIP 2.0.
That was a hip. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is the if your employer doesn't provide health care, that's basically your only choice. That's Indiana's version of Obamacare.
Right. Excellent. What's it like? 90? It's pretty cheap though, ain't it?
I don't know.
I have
I've got
no
a day
idea.
job. Sorry for the 3-year-old that just walked in front of the camera.
I was just saying hi.
Just hanging out.
Yeah, you probably just saw the very tip top of his hair. No, if you're a
just the
Patreon
naps.
member, then there's a link in that says "Don't gamble in New Palestine," and that's what we were talking about.
You can tell you're not from there.
Yeah.
New Palestine.
Just say new pal.
New Pal.
I mean, I'm not from there either.
You bet you're on 52, so you drive
Right,
through
yeah.
there.
Unfortunately, every day. I got the privilege of driving on 52 where the speed limit is 55 all the way to Indy, but if we hit 30, I'm lucky. It's just a long line of, I think it's a bunch of people from Rushville, and they either,
Well, they're trash.
oh, I worked in Rushville, and I swear to God they cast it for the Hills Have Eyes there. I've never seen more incest people in my life.
Stellar community.
It is a cesspool. It is, and so I worked at the Army surplus store in college. I ran the store in Broad Ripple, but I also worked at the one in Rushville on the weekends.
Downtown, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually bought a lot of gear from the one in Rushville.
Well, you've probably
Before-
been in there with me. And
Did a man lady
Maybe.
sell it to you?
No, you're right. Was there a dude dressed like a chick?
Had the
No.
best makeup on.
Yeah, because he didn't
I
work at
used
that
to-
one. That probably was me that time.
I used to buy a lot of stuff there for paintballing.
Oh, yeah.
Got really big into paintballing.
I
for a
probably filled
while.
up your tanks then for a few times.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I bought all kinds of clothes, and I had a okay looking ghillie suit, so that came from there.
But
And then they closed. You closed on me.
I was against moving to Rushville in the first place. I was like, hey, listen, boss name was Buzz. And as an 18-year-old kid, I went up to him, I was like, do you understand the median household income of Rushville is like $21,000?
$21,000.
Yeah, it's like literally, and this is a store that sells stuff that people can only buy if they have that extra income. I'm like, this is a horrible move. There's nothing in Rushville that lasts, especially an Army surplus store in a 7,000 square
Was this
foot.
in Shelbyville originally? There
Yeah,
was
in
one
Shelbyville.
too.
Oh, the Shelbyville store was abundant. I mean,
Yeah.
it was busy all the time. It was right off the interstate. We
I had
had
been there.
two billboards on the interstate.
I went to the one in Rushville with Dad. I mean, it's right there by the 301 building, just south of it.
Just
I mean, There wasn't anything that sold paintball gear in Dunreath, Indiana. So.
Yeah.
Rushville's the place.
Yeah, Rushville's the place. I mean, it was great. It was a great store. I love working there. It was a lot of fun, especially during college. I mean, especially when we moved to Rushville because we never had any customers. So I would read books. I would take naps. I mean, I would. Hey, ladies, I would take ladies back in the back room.
Have lunch at the Elks Club, meet somebody, and then come back to work.
I'm embarrassed to say how many times, and I hope that my former boss, who's still my friend, doesn't listen to the show, but I would put up a sign on the door and have my girlfriend over. You know?
All right. Well, we are getting to that point in the show where we probably ought to start our final thoughts because I don't know how long they're going to take. Producer Chris, we will start with you.
Yeah.
You got big weekend plans for us, don't you?
I do. So let me think. Saturday, 3:30, we're meeting at the Pizza King on Memorial Drive. We're going to eat some pizza.
I thought that was a secret. You're going to tell everybody?
It's not a secret anymore.
Our fans are going to show up. Oh, that'd be awkward.
I love them. So we're going to meet there. Then we're going to go up to the Cruisin', kind of walk around.
Dressed in Guffey attire?
Is it Buick night?
Yep, sure is. Chevy night.
Chevy night?
Chevy?
That might be fun.
Maybe we'll get Kevin to enter his Equinox.
And so then we're going to walk around that, and then I'm going to be manning the Monuments Global War on Terrorism table for the new monument we're going to put up in Memorial Park. And then we also have a meeting the 8th at 1 o'clock at the Doughboy statue right outside the Smith building.
You're going to meet there after dark?
1 o'clock.
Oh, 1. I thought you said 8.
No, on the 8th.
On the 8th at 1 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to meet there. And
why not high noon?
Because we don't like high noon. Church people.
That's a good whiskey, though.
So we're going to meet there at 1 and then get some more input and hopefully get this monument rocking and rolling, man.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. Daniel Paul.
Hey.
You're going to start coaching youth sports. Is that what I heard?
No, I'm going to start taking lessons from a Newcastle legend to try to work on my basketball game since I still have 4 years of eligibility left.
Chase DeGaulle? Zach Hahn?
No, I'm going to
Darnell Archie?
It's going to be Corey Clemens. So, see what happens.
He's a legend in your eyes.
He had college scholarships. Good ball player. But
Corey Clemens. I'm trying to think.
Big guy? Boy.
Big?
Taller than me. He's a firefighter here in town. He probably graduated in 06.
I know. Yeah, I know Clemens. Okay.
So this is normally where you promote stuff, Danny. What you got going on? Just you got other podcasts you're appearing on, stuff you're doing?
I don't think so.
How do people follow you on Twitter?
Marriage proposal.
And get involved with you and Dan Dockich in your love affair?
Yeah, Dan and I go, way back.
Ever since college when you dressed up like a stripper pole. He's loved
He liked that.
Yeah.
So,
Double D.
Hey.
Travis Ham wants to know why he turned down his lessons.
What lessons?
Basketball lessons.
Look, he's probably shitty at basketball.
He wants to teach you, and you refuse.
You think about it, though, half the NBA coaches are probably really shitty at basketball, too. But
it's completely true. Do you think Pop was any good? No.
maybe 30 years ago, he might have been solid.
If 60.
It's funny. So we have in Morristown, we have a.
You guys had a great ball team a couple years ago.
2 years ago.
It's still pretty solid. Because we just got like 3 or 4 classes there just to.
You just ship those new kids in and.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I was saying is our athletic director, he was retired when I was in high school, still alive. His name was Mr. Albertson. He's probably in his 80s now. But I remember he'd be like 65 years old and would play basketball with us after school because that was our thing. Every day after school, we'd go to the old gym and shoot hoops. And Mr. Albertson would play basketball with us. The dude was in his 60s and would just drain shots. And I'm like, this is unbelievable. What the hell is this? It's kind of embarrassing.
I skipped basketball night for this tonight.
This is the first time you've skipped basketball night in a very
Is there
long
basketball?
time.
I guess, yeah, basketball. Probably.
I play a couple times a week, just churches or
I haven't played it
wherever.
in a year. And
it's the only thing that I do that's physical, that's competitive outside of my work. So.
really?
You have to throw some elbows selling grinding equipment.
Selling carbide's a competitive industry.
I mean,
believe it or not.
I like to work out, but
Yeah, you got to compete against guys like Brandon Connor.
Oh, that guy can't hold my job straight. And I'll tell him that to his face.
Well, he's listening, so.
I hope Fastenal's treating him well.
we could do a charity we could do a charity basketball game, a one-on-one charity game. Get a sponsor. There you go. Play 1-on-1.
I played in a 3-on-3 in Spiceland earlier this year.
We have a charity one every year you should play in.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I took 3 offensive charges.
Really?
By the ref in a 3-on-3. It was hilarious. Mason was the ref.
Yeah, I was going to say
It
the
just
ref
cost
was
me a little
very
bit
close to
extra.
home.
We kind of do the honor system.
$100 up front.
Yeah, it's for charity. It's one of the things I
Is
we
it
didn't
in
talk-
Morristown?
Morristown, yeah. So one of the things I do, other than the DJing and the podcast stuff, is I do run a 501c3 who is named after my grandpa, Butch Ellis. He was the same grandpa who ordered the porno. First 53 wedding anniversary. Yeah, so Grandpa was great. I get a lot of my personality from Grandpa, but one of the things he did when he was alive was he was very charitable and passed it along to his family. So we started a foundation in his name. I'm the president of it. But yeah, we have a 3-on-3. That's what. Sorry to cut you off.
Is it coming up? You already did it this year? Or you're doing it
We're
soon?
probably gonna have it in April next year.
Yeah, I'll come play in it.
Yeah, I mean we have a great turn. I think we had 21 teams last year.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So
Is Micaiah Murray playing it?
yes, he does. He has a team.
so
Yeah,
that's,
he'll be on my team next
He
year.
won it. He won it one year.
Well, he's
Micaiah's great. I just DJ'd Micaiah's sister's wedding.
Chandra.
Chandra.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Did you play some
Micaiah,
dirty songs at her wedding?
probably not.
You know, it's funny. I was so okay. So of course it was a dry wedding because they're extremely religious, and every time I've done a dry wedding, even a dry wedding, I am very confident in my ability as an entertainer that even with the work, because I've had some real shitty crowds before, and I can tell you right now, I can still work. I can still make it happen. I can still make the party happen. But I'm like looking at this crowd. I'm like, okay, you're 90% religious, no alcohol, not even a drop. We've got lemonade over there in the corner. I said, I'm going to work really hard. They were awesome.
They were ready to
danced
party.
the whole time. I was so happy. And you get that sometimes. There's crowds that you think these guys are drunk. They're going to be crazy. And I've really got to pry them out on the dance floor.
You got the Judy boys out there, and they were dancing.
Micaiah is a tough baller.
Oh, he's great.
He should have played. He could have played at any.
Well, he's trying out for the
D1
Mad Ants
school.
right now.
Yeah, he's tough. We played a lot together.
And his brother Josiah, he was my age, but they were homeschooled.
So I was homeschooled too. We played on the same high school team together.
Okay,
And I would pick them up at their house and take them to practice.
That's
every day.
awesome.
And Josiah was a couple years younger than I was.
see, I wish Josiah stayed in school because we would have actually been good in high school.
Oh yeah,
No, we had a great team. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's crazy the
the talent that
athleticism.
the Golden Eagles had.
Yeah, we had people laugh at like.
didn't you guys win? Like, I mean, I know, didn't their teams win like state
state-
championships?
I
Six
won.
state championships.
I won 3 or 4.
You won 4 and 5 years.
Yeah,
You had an extra year of high school. I don't know how it happened.
well, yeah, I was. I, hit
Yeah,
my
I did
head a
too,
couple
but I know how
times.
it happened.
But no, we were really tough. Like, we played Arlington and beat them. That was Arlington and Indy, not.
Oh, I'd say
Yeah.
You played 5 meth heads over here in Arlington. That's
Yeah,
great.
but they're scrappy.
yeah, real scrappy.
We also played Laurel. So when you say that, that's
Yeah.
a rough. But no, it was fun.
Okay, the first points of the NFL season might be scored right now.
Way to go, Parks.
The Bears actually hit a field goal.
oh, nice.
3-0 Bears.
Not Cody Parkey.
Liam Pinheiro has kicked a field goal.
Yeah, congratulations, Liam, man. Good to see you in
That's
a new
awesome.
career.
We're very proud of him.
I wonder if it's going to
They,
be on his
they held
blog
the ball
later.
well, and it went through the uprights, and it's 3-0 Bears. So Chase probably just shotgunned a beer. DJ Maddie,
What's up?
you got any final thoughts? How do people follow you, friend you, find Highly Inappropriate?
I'm going to cover all the bases. First and foremost, I do appreciate you guys having me on today. Like I said, our podcast is a lot. I mean, we do cover politics, very small, and most of the stories we cover that are relevant are mostly not BS stories because they're real things that happen. But we don't want we want to talk about the war overseas. We would rather talk about a tranny in Florida who punched a guy. Like that's just
You
who
guys
we are.
record in Shelbyville, or where at? Or
Green.
Morristown?
Well, we kind of bounce around. We've got a studio in Carthage, believe it or not, and we have a studio in Greenfield.
Carthage.
Yeah, Carthage of all.
Carthage is a lovely place. That's the place I've been pulled over more than anywhere else on
Oh,
Earth.
I believe it. Yeah,
Russell Silvers has pulled me over there no less than 22 times.
I leave anytime we do the show in Carthage. I leave the show cocked every time, and I'm like, oh god, I got to really mind my P's and Q's. And I've been followed by cops a few times.
Stop at every stop sign.
Stop sign. Yeah, stop at every stop sign. I cruise control out of that. I mean, they probably get mad because they want to speed. It's funny how cops can speed and get away with it, right? Yeah, that's neither here nor there. But yeah,
I will absolutely pass a cop. I've done it several times.
past a cop.
Yeah, don't care.
Yeah, cool. I'll try. Every time I do that, I've got no
Lights
chance.
on.
Yeah, I don't have boobs, so I can't get out of a ticket. Yeah, if you want to look at
You
something,
look like
Chris-
you're well racked.
Well, I got great tit or
Yeah.
boobs. Hey, kids. Yeah. How you doing? Morning. Yeah. Got these nice little pecs to work on. A little flub because I like beer, but whatever. But like I was saying, I do appreciate you guys having me on because I enjoy talking politics. I am a fellow libertarian, have been since I found out who Ron Paul was. So, granted, Ron Paul didn't his last stint identify as a libertarian, but
he was the 1988
libertarian
presidential candidate,
yep.
And he's a lifetime member of the LP. But the last 2 times he ran for president, he was a Republican.
Yeah, so
I'd have him deliver my baby.
Oh, absolutely. I want him to deliver me.
My dad is weighing in on the chat, and he says that Carthage has the shortest cop in the state. I don't know how you prove that, but
No,
it's
Larry's son from the mower shop. He literally is a small person.
It's like little people, big world kind of a deal, huh?
That's they may have the smallest cop, but they definitely probably have the biggest meth problem in all of Rush County.
And Arlington is very thankful.
Yeah, hey, Arlington probably Arlington is Rush County. Wow.
Yeah.
That's just all
And they
encompassing.
just
You got
barely made it.
inbreds. We have really, really took a dump on Rush County this week, haven't we?
It's been rough.
Yeah,
You
we have.
picked on you've left Homer and Manila out of it.
if you guys want to make fun of Morristown, I mean, we're wholesome. There's no drugs that are abundant there. Granted, there's druggies there, but I mean, there's not much to make fun of in Morristown. Because trust me, I would do it if I could. Like if you're talking about the village idiots, it's me and my brother. So
when you can't make fun of the town, it's you that
yeah, they can definitely make fun of me. That's super easy. But I do appreciate you guys having me on. If you want to check out our show, it's a little more off collar. Called Highly Inappropriate. You can download it, of course, on iTunes.
At least there's a warning.
Yeah, we were on Facebook. We had a huge following on Facebook. We got banned from Facebook.
You got deplatformed?
We got deplatformed. We got a few warnings. This year alone, I got a 24-hour, a 3-day, and 230 back-to-back day bans all in a row. And I finally decided, I'm not sharing another damn meme on my personal page.
Tom would
ever.
never do that to you on MySpace.
No, Tom's great.
No, Tom's a good
screw you,
dude.
Mark Zuckerberg. You're total. Oh, and I've ripped them apart. Like I've wrote them paragraphs. I've tried calling their headquarters. Because honestly, I get it. I understand why I was banned, but I run a nonprofit. I run my DJ business all through Facebook. So it's like you won't even give me access to chat so I can respond to DJ requests. So you're taking money out of my pocket over a stupid meme. Are you kidding me? Like, what are we? It's funny because honestly, as much as I use Facebook for good, they're digging their own grave right now.
And what happens is you end up having to work around it and creating a sock account so that you can run your Highly Inappropriate page, and then of your
that's
business
exactly
work,
what I did. I ran
your business work ends up having to be done
because the
differently.
first time that we ever chatted,
Yeah,
I had to.
It was your backup account.
I had to text you I had to message you from my burner account and say, "Hey, sorry, I can't reply on that account. It's a ban for 30 days."
And I said, "Oh, we're going to be friends."
Yep. So I did.
Because it was a business related thing.
Yeah, business thing.
I was trying to get you a special little something for my sister's wedding.
Yeah, absolutely. You sent me a song.
Yeah.
So
Was it the Wheeler Walker song?
No, it was the Hannah song.
The Hannah song.
Oh, yeah,
Childhood
that
tape.
Dad was working on.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
his special project, but I was in charge of going from tape to digital so that Matt could do something with it.
So we did. So we we made a new Facebook page. Not quite the following. We don't do a Facebook Live anymore. It's all YouTube Live now. Even though YouTube has their own standards, I'm not worried about being demonetized. On YouTube because right now we're not.
There's no money there yet anyway. Right?
There's no money there yet, anyways. Granted, if you took our Facebook following and transferred over to YouTube, it could have been there.
What did you have on Facebook before that?
We were. There was weeks where our engagements were in the 30,000 range. It was unbelievable.
That's awesome.
Oh, it was incredible. I was like,
Now,
this
did
is
you get any kind of monetary?
from Facebook?
Yeah, anything back from that, or is it just?
No, it's other than
it's
sponsors.
yeah.
It was overwhelming. We literally overnight just took off. Like literally took off. We're like, oh, this is great.
And
but
do you
we
have
knew
a
it was only a
plan?
matter of time before Facebook was.
Do you have a plan for the podcast stuff? Or are you wanting to turn that into some sort of career or make money off of it? Or
I think ultimately that would be the goal, but just being realistic, I don't think it's going to happen overnight by any means.
Sure.
Because we're at the point now where most podcasts decide, hey, we're not getting anywhere, so we're going to pack it up. But no, we've seen a lot. The support's been amazing. The problem is we went from Facebook to where everybody knew us. We couldn't give anybody a warning that we're not there anymore because they literally just shut us down overnight.
Disappeared.
So we're now doing our live show on YouTube. Of course, we're on iTunes. You can check us out on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and like our videos because that helps with the rankings. If you want to follow us on any social media, we do have a Facebook again, but it's just to promote the show. That's all we do is promote the show. We don't share any memes.
Not the meme game.
No meme games, no live show. We actually, it's horrible. We actually got one of our shows taken down because in the first 5 minutes, I think we said the FAG word 26 times.
Dave Chappelle can say it now.
Yeah, I mean, and granted, I don't hate.
About the cigarettes?
Yeah, exactly.
No, it was about the bundle of wood.
And we even said, we're listen, we don't hate gay people. It's just relevant to what we're talking about.
But that wasn't an issue when we were growing up.
It's still not an issue now. It's only an issue to those who make it an issue.
I would agree. There's very little that you could call or say that would cause a problem that shouldn't just roll off your back.
Let me ask you guys. Sorry, we're in our final thoughts here, but let me just ask you before you guys. What do you think the turning point was?
Trophies for kids.
Yeah, but what year did America decide they just want to be sensitive about everything?
2012.
That's got to be to me. I look at when hip hop really changed too. To me, I think the death of really good hip hop is 2009. Is the last year.
So hip hop is very hard for somebody that grew up in Rush County,
right,
to associate when the turning time was.
I gotta think about my audience here. I'm sorry, guys.
Because I'm.
Well, we can do it with country too, because country music now sucks.
Oh yeah,
it's terrible.
80s and 90s country for me. That's
I get so disgusted. It was funny because when we talked about my DJ,
Tim McGraw is past refried dreams. I can't listen.
When he joined up with Nelly, I mean that was a problem.
Well, I like Nelly.
I love Nelly too.
I would say probably in a small town farm school in the middle of Indiana, it started seeping in there in 2013 or so.
You think is when
the hip hop or the softness?
No,
that's
softness.
when the first black music came to Try High was 2013.
I would not fit in.
You should have seen the riots.
I would not fit in.
I don't know.
People started putting spinners on their tractors. It was a whole thing.
I mean, Morristown, it's basically the same thing. I mean, Morristown's in a different space, but you're talking about a small community school. It's literally in the middle of a cornfield. I mean, that's what Morristown is for sure. But I look at how I grew up. I mean, I was raised. Even though I'm a millennial, I definitely associate more with Gen Xers, I think, because I grew up hanging out with my brother and my cousins who were all in that,
Gen Xers?
Yeah, Gen Xers. So I definitely associate more with them than I do with millennials as far as personality and what I like and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, I just don't get it. Because to me, I've always been raised to just say what's on my mind. Not to hate anybody, but I don't.
You don't need a filter.
But you don't have to hate somebody telling them they're a dumbass.
No, I don't think you. I mean, seriously, just
I
because
think you love somebody by telling them.
Just because I say that word don't mean I hate gay people, and just because I say a racist joke don't mean I'm racist. It's people can make fun of. And that's what I don't get is you can make fun of me all day. I love that. I have friends to this day. My best friend in the world. He's on the podcast with me. His name's Beaver. Growing up, I made fun of that kid so much. And the reason I did is because he would never stand up for himself. I'm like, dude, you need to call me a bitch back. You need to, say names to me back. And finally, to this day, he finally does. But it took him years to finally get to that point. That's just who I am. I pick on people. I expect the same back at me.
I'm going to bully you into being a bully.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the way I treat Dakota. Dakota, final thoughts.
Yep.
It took about 6 months for Dakota to finally fight back.
And now Chris Guffey's having to work through the same thing.
No, now he's doing it back to you.
It's ridiculous.
He's fighting you now.
He's not fought me on anything.
I watched you two put this table back together.
I just have to constantly give him tips on how to fight you. I'm like, listen,
if you guys want
Chris,
the blueprint for it, I'll give it to you.
I know. I should have reached out to you a couple years ago, Danny. How do I say no to all this?
Danny, more or less, how do you get under your brother's skin growing up?
Get under his skin?
Hide his Playboys.
Yeah, he did have some Maxims for a few years hidden underneath the mattress. They weren't Playboys, but they were Maxims.
I don't know. Well, first of all, for our house, those were very risque.
Yeah,
Second of all,
true.
I don't know where those went, and I'm still worried that Mom's going to find them.
Yeah, no kidding. I gave them to Dad. Don't worry. You could take the Xbox late at night. That'd piss him off a little bit.
Yeah, that's not yours.
The remote, yeah. Oh my God, that's true.
His wife is giving.
He put it was a pocket remote, or he'd hide it in the couch.
Listen, you
and don't record over his NASCAR.
No, God no.
That's Talladega from 1993.
Hey man, you got to know that Dale Earnhardt and Ernie Irvin won those two races. And now you can go Google that and know that that was actually the correct names. That was true.
Was Dale your favorite?
No.
Who's your favorite?
Do it for Dale.
Oh, it depends upon the era.
Really?
Kenny Schrader.
I was always
Ernie Irvan.
I was always a huge Gordon fan growing up.
Yeah, you're gay.
Well, I mean, I wasn't gay at first. I got sucked into it, but it's neither here nor there. Yeah.
I think everybody was a Jeff Gordon fan.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
that is not true.
Yeah,
well, my uncle
Everybody
was a huge
that's not a
everyone
huge
from here.
nerd.
I would say a lot of people from here because he had a lot of Indiana roots. for
That's
sure.
not a huge nerd. Jeremiah is posturing like a lizard that's about to strike.
Oh yeah, this just. He was a. You like Bobby Allison a lot?
No.
Yes, you did.
Bobby never.
You liked him in the early '90s.
Davey,
Before that,
his son.
Davey.
Yeah, I like his son, Davey.
All I know is I'd pay money to listen to Peyton Manning and Darryl Waltrip have a conversation together.
All of them Tennessee boys.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, Dakota.
Chris Guffey stole mine. I was going to ask all the members of the Libertarian Party of Henry County to check their emails because I just sent one out.
Did you do that during sports?
No, I did it actually before the show started. So it was actually 2 hours.
Yeah,
ago.
it's during sports. He created an email. That's great.
Yeah, that's the hand I'm dealt.
He's the Mike Britt of our show.
128 shows in, and sports, and he just glazes over. That's why I need Chase. Thank God he's not working at the chicken factory anymore.
No, I'm done.
At the pig's butt or whatever that place is called.
Down or up?
Danny, we're still on the air, buddy. You can't just start talking. Final thoughts from me. Shout out to the Marshall
mean to
Pruitt
interrupt
podcast. I didn't mean to interrupt your little show.
Sorry for ruining your Black Panther part.
Next week, shout out to the Marshall Pruitt. I want a T-shirt with a little Zach Burcham, I think, stuffed the ballot box for me, but I put a question into the Marshall Pruitt podcast. Won myself a free T-shirt from Toronto Motorsports, which is pretty cool. And those guys have had over 3 million downloads on that show, so it's a big show.
Who's that?
It's a big Marshall Pruitt Motorsports.
Okay, cool.
So Zach's a big fan of this show and helped us out. And there's a little wall racing group, and he put that in there. And next thing I know, I was listening to the show, and damn it, I won. So very cool.
A shout out to old Spangle for carrying the banner because Spangle's show's got quite the presence too.
Spangle is.
I think Miss Pat's doing it for him.
Well, Ms. Pat's
Let's be
helped.
straight about it.
She just got her show announced. She's going to be on Hulu. She's getting a
Oh,
Hulu
really? That's
syndicated
cool.
show. I'm waiting for Spangle to get a walk-on cameo to be the ugly white neighbor next door or something.
Do you guys listen to any
that'll be
other
fun.
Wide lens.
libertarian podcast?
Yeah, Brian Nichols has got a good show. Really enjoyed
Jason
listening to that
Stapleton.
one.
You like him?
Stapleton some, yeah. Yep.
He's always been my favorite.
Yeah, Lava Flow. Roger. He's in the
Tom
in the
Woods.
Empire. Tom Woods, obviously. Yep. So lots and lots of them. But yeah, Brian Nichols. He's done a really good job on the Wall Network lately.
Good.
And had some. He had a mosh on just before he made his little transition over. Next week we're going to continue the local podcast crossover deal, and we'll have Jacob Serber on the Thunderwolf podcast. So,
Let's go.
all right, we'll see you all next Thursday.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Boss Hog of Liberty, which is part of the We Are Libertarians Network. I am Chris Spangle, and I am the founder of this network, and I invite you to listen to all of our shows, which you can find at WeAreLibertarians.com or by searching for these in your podcatcher. The flagship show is the We Are Libertarians podcast, where we apply libertarian principles to current events. The Brian Nichols Show is a conversation amongst Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, Independents, as they talk about what is happening in the news. And we have many other podcasts like The Chris Spangle Show, Upward, The Cost, Raw Audio Politics, Miranda's World, and Tad Talk, which is quite a ride. So check all of these out. Go to WeAreLibertarians.com and you can check out all of our great podcasts. Thanks for listening. Thank you for listening to the We Are Libertarians Network. Get our other shows at WeAreLibertarians.com.